You're listening to the Hella Well with Danielle show, a podcast taking women of color on a journey exploring all things wellness and travel related. We're all about showing you how to put on your oxygen mask first and creating lasting self-care habits that will free you to travel the world and live the life you truly desire, and not one you have to fake loving. I'm your host, Danielle Washington. Now let's buckle up and start this journey. Welcome to another episode of the Hella Well with Danielle podcast. I am your host, Danielle Washington, and Black Panther Wakanda Forever is finally here. It is the week that we've been waiting for. We got all of our white clothes on. We are ready to show out once again. I love this movie, and I know it's no coincidence that the movie is being released here in the United States on 11/11/22. And I'm going to get into these powerful numbers. If you want to look it up, 11/11 is a powerful day to be doing anything. But this movie, talking about power, this movie evokes. There's such a powerful image of the female warrior who's taking charge, protecting her community. And it reminds me of the everyday warrior that's within all of us. We may not have the fancy clothes, like the armor or the white outfits, the headdresses. We may not have the big blades that look sharp and probably could kill someone just by a little movement of the hand. But make that clear. Let me make sure it's clear as day if you could hear, so the people in the far, far back can hear me. You are no less of a warrior. The woman you see in the mirror every single day is no less of a warrior than what you see in that movie. But what we all have in common is that we're trying to fight these wars with these blades. And today, I wanted us to take a pause to collectively heal together, to realize that we don't need these blades. But before we get there and get into the whole meat of this podcast episode today, let's take a breath. Like, I go back to my yoga practice, and I know when every class, I always like to tune in. And the way I look at tuning in, it's not like just chanting just to be chanting. I tune in and try to focus in on the energy within me, but also it's my way of saying, hello, outside world. It's time for you to take several seats. Chaos, you go over there. Drama, you go over there. This is time for me to have a little bit of peace, to pause. And so this podcast episode is really about creating a pause oasis for us to collectively come together so we can heal, so we can take another step on this healing journey that we're all on. I'm on it. You're on it. Why not work together so we can do better, so we can create that Wakanda Forever moment? So, okay. So for us to tune in, I just want us to just take a moment, wherever you are, close your eyes if you can. If you can't, keep your eyes open and just inhale as deeply as you can, holding it for a minute and just letting it drop out of your breath, just exhaling it all out. So let's just take a deep inhale. Allowing yourself to be present, be here, be now, as we work to be open to this information, be open to this energy, so we can be out of survival mode and start thriving, living more in our true essence. Ashe, and let's get into this information. Okay, again, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. We all are the warriors that we see every day in the mirror. We may not have the armor, we may not have the outfits, may not have the shiny swords, but we are all warriors. We all do things. We all have our own blades that help protect us protect our peace. We all have our own blades that protect our peace. My blade of choice is my sharp tongue, my wit. It's funny. I used to always say, oh, what am I the most proud of? It's, oh, I'm my wit, my humor. And then I started realizing that that was a blade. That was a blade that I used to protect myself. It was a defense mechanism. It's a defense mechanism I've used all my life because it feels like a cozy blanket that's got me through where I am today. I can't say that I didn't need it when I've been using it because, yeah, it was my only way of surviving for a good portion of my life. Having a thick skin as a woman of color in corporate America was another blade that I use frequently, especially in the workforce, because it got me through the Karens that are terrorists. And they still are terrorists. I feel like I keep saying this, but I feel like these terrorists are really strong and out there. But that thick skin and being able to have that thick skin, not even just in the workforce, but even in relationships, even in confrontation, working with my parents, I had to build a thick skin to feel like I could protect myself from the emotional abuse that was coming up, from the feeling that I wasn't worthy and trying to find different ways and battling toxic situations. I've used humor. I've used my intelligence. I've used all different things as my blades. And so one of these may sound familiar to you or may resonate like, oh, yeah, I may use sarcasm or I may use, I have the best clap back game ever. Don't come for me because I will come for you first. I know a huge blade that one of the most popular blades I used when I was definitely in my 20s was I was the one who was, I'm going to hurt you or I'm going to run before you hurt me or you run. And that's a blade. And when I look at blades, another word you want to use to describe blades is defense mechanisms. They are the defense mechanisms that we use to survive, to protect our peace. But what you're not realizing is in using these blades, you're not only protecting your peace, you're protecting yourself from your glory, your abundance, because those defense mechanisms, those walls that we protect, those boundaries that we create are blocking us. And what I've discovered even more so more recently in my healing journey is that when I'm able to move in a space of stillness, that's way more powerful. When I'm able to not use the blades, when I'm able to just not use the blades, I'm more powerful without the blade than I am with it. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. I have discovered on my healing journey has taught me that I'm more powerful without the blades. I'm more powerful without the defense mechanism. I'm more powerful with removing the hard edges that I thought I needed to show that I'm strong. Don't come for me. Because a lot of us will be out here showing the blade. We may not always need to use the blade, but we'll show it to people. Don't come for me because if you do, here is my blade. My sarcasm will get you. I will be armored with thick skin. My whip will get you. My clap back game will get you. My intelligence will get you. Me being a strong woman who can endure and is resilient will get you. We are so used to showing the blades. We don't always have to use it. We just show them and it tells people, don't come free. This is not a battle you want to fight. And sometimes, hey, you even have to show the blade and then use it. You may have to do a couple of stab and twist in lives. And that's what we've needed to do to get by. But what I'm here today to tell you is that you are more powerful when you don't use the blade. When I've recognized my power in the more recent years is when I'm still. There is such power when I don't have to showcase everything that I know. I don't have to prove that I'm valid to be in a space by saying everything I know because that's how I proved myself. That's how I validated myself. That was my blade. My intelligence was my one of my blades. I would talk to people in a way someone would say something and I'd be like, "Well, I know this. Well, I know that. I'm familiar with this. I'm well versed in that." And that was me showing my blades to say that, look at me, I'm powerful. You don't want to mess with this. But when I got to the point in my life when I realized I didn't have to showcase everything I knew, I didn't have to be there for everyone and tell them, oh, this is how you get through this part of your life. And I could just let them learn the lessons that the universe wants them to learn on their own, that I didn't have to prove myself. Oh, that felt good. It feels good to sit back and be like, I might know the answer, but I don't have to say everything that I know. And that was a true lesson to learn for me, that I don't have to say everything I know. Also, backing away from responding, that's another form of stillness. When I was able to realize that I don't have to respond to every crazy thing that comes my way, because that's how that was a blade. It was like something would come my way. It was time to take out the blade. Okay, you're coming for me. You're coming for me. You're coming for me. Blade, blade, blade. Nowadays, I get messages, things come my way. I may see something, someone may say something, flip in a grocery store, and I just sit there. I know sometimes people do things to try to get us to respond because they want to see us show our blades. They want to see us because they know our power is in our silence. They know our power is in our stillness. So when we are able to say, not today, sweetie. I don't even need to comment or even acknowledge your presence. I don't even need to acknowledge what you're trying to do. Oh, that's some powerful ish. That's some power. There's power even in your meditation. I've noticed that when I'm able to be still, and when I say still in meditation, don't be fooled. Not every meditation has to be you're sitting in easy pose, Gyan Mudra, and you're trying to have no thoughts whatsoever. Some of my most powerful meditations is when I'm chanting. It's when I'm doing my Kundalini meditations where there is some kind of hand movement. It gets me to a point where my mind is still. And it's in those moments that I feel like this literally light of energy that's coming out of me that shifts my mood. I'm able to shift my mood through that stillness that I'm able to get in my mind. So I'm realizing that, yeah, I don't need to show my blades all the time. I don't need to show warnings. I don't need to stab and twist, because when I don't do those things, when I feel like when I don't show my blades anymore, or if I don't like actually utilize them, it diminishes this feeling of I need to prove myself. It diminishes this feeling of I need to protect something. I'm in survival mode. I don't feel like I'm in survival mode as much as I used to be. And I'm not going to sit here and say, I have learned this. I'm good. I never, ever, ever get triggered. That's a lie. There's moments of, I hate using the words, the phrase, it is what it is, but it is what it is. I am perfectly imperfect. I have moments still, and I probably still will have more moments of when I just automatically remember the cozy feeling of using my defense mechanisms, grabbing my blade, even though I know a true warrior doesn't need a blade, but I have those moments, and it's going to happen. I honor that those moments happen, and I try not to beat myself up for having those moments. I use it as a learning lesson when I can, and when I can't, it's a moment, it happened, and I move on as best as I can. But being able to recognize your strength when you are still, you don't have to be sarcastic. You don't have to use your wit. You don't have to have this thick skin to hide you, to hide your true essence. Is what we're doing. Is we're using these mechanisms, these blades, these defense mechanisms to hide our true essence, because that's what we were taught, to protect our our true essence. To protect our soul, we had to have these walls. And so I invite you to take a moment to see how you can release the blades in your life. Whether it's using an affirmation says, I release the hard edges and my blades so that I can be in my true essence and shine brightly. When you can learn how to survive without the blades that have kept you safe to this point, now that's some true next level Wakanda Forever type of moment. That's what I'm living for. Wakanda Forever. I hope you got something out of this. Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what your blades are. And again, just let me know if this is helping you at all. And if this is something that's helping you, I invite you to share this with a girlfriend who may need to hear this podcast, may need to get this message. Again, this is a collective healing. We are just taking one step together on this healing journey that we are all on, so we can really be cozy with ourselves. I love you, and I'll see you guys next week. Ciao. Thanks for joining us this week on the Hello Well with Danielle show. Make sure to visit our website, hellowellwithdanielle.com, where you can subscribe to our show on iTunes, Spotify, and Amazon Music and never miss an episode. Also, you can follow us on social media at Hello Well with Danielle on Facebook and Instagram, and Hello Well Danny on Twitter. And if you like hella love the show and got some good nuggets out of it, know that I'm not too proud to ask for you to please leave a rating or review on iTunes so that we can continue to expand our reach and help other women of color. Again, thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you next week. Ciao.